Hello, welcome back if you're old friends, and if you're new, hello, I'm Claire. I'm a modern quilt maker, and I mend things. I'm especially interested in how creativity can help us with our health and well-being, and I love creativity of all kinds, but I'm specifically passionate and obsessed by sewing and textiles and fabric. But thank you very much for joining me again on a Friday night in Europe, and whatever time it is, wherever you are. It's very nice to see you. Welcome. And I'm it's not going to be a very long one tonight, actually. It's a quick one before Christmas. I thought I would give you a little bit of an update on the slow stitch along that I mentioned last week, because I've been really delighted by how many of you have sent me a message and said that you'd be interested in doing something like that in January. So I've sketched out a rough plan, well, more than a rough plan, but I will be sending out a link on. I'm just battling a little bit with the technology at the moment, but I should be able to do that on Monday, and I'll put it in my stories every day next week, so that if you want to sign up, you can. It's free. The only thing I will ask about any participants who want to join in would be perhaps you can help me by giving me some feedback, because I've got some exciting plans for next year, for 2024. I'd like to try and do some more online workshops. I've already done in-person workshops, but I'd like to practice the technology. So if you'd like to be my guinea pig, you can join in for free with these slow stitch sessions. And in fact, because I'm all about inclusivity, if you're not a stitcher, then you're welcome also, even if you don't want to stitch. If you want to do something else that you would find particularly creative, or you want to practice something, if you would like to doodle, or if you'd like to practice mindfulness, I don't know what it is, but if you would like to join, then you're welcome. You're probably thinking, well, when will this be and how will it be? It will be on Zoom, and so I'm hoping that post-pandemic most people will at least have a memory of Zoom, and maybe have already got the technology to be able to do that. And we're not limited on Zoom to the number of people that we can have, and I also would like to practice with Zoom, so it'll be on Zoom. Unless anything changes from my part, it will be in Europe, on Europe time, probably Saturday mornings, but I will have another study of who signs up and where you are in the world, and I'll try and pick the best time slot. However, if you can't, if you're really interested in joining in and you can't join in live, then you will be able to watch the recording. So I hope that suits everyone. I'm reading my notes to check I don't forget anything. I think what's in my mind about this project is it's about kickstarting our creativity at the beginning of the year. It's not a grand this project will end up with a specific finished item, unless of course you want it to. You will be in charge. Those people who join in will be in charge of whatever they want to develop in terms of practicing. There's an awful lot about slow stitching that I like that is actually not dependent on the final outcome. It's about the process. It's about following your intuition and your feeling, and just having a quiet, gentle, cozy time. And I think the bonus, what I'm excited about as well, is the chance to perhaps meet some of you and be able to interact a little bit more than we can on an Instagram Live. Although I'm enjoying seeing all the names of people joining in. By the way, for those of you who are a bit new to Instagram Lives, I don't see when you leave the group, so please don't worry. If you've just joined in for a minute and you've said hello and then you've got more other things to do, please don't worry. I can't tell when you leave. It's not, it really isn't a problem if you have just got a minute to say hi and then go about your business. But if you stay equally, and if you make a comment, that's even nicer, because that shows me that at least some of what I said made sense. So thank you also for the encouragement that many of you have given me. I can see also, I was thinking about this from last week. I don't think Helen will mind me saying it, but if you were to watch last week's live, I know other people have done this too, but Helen at Whitewood and Linen pushed the button on the screen, which some of you may have seen, that says request to join. And actually what that does is it tells me that you want to actually be in the live, meaning you want your face to appear on the screen and you want to publish that to all the people watching, which maybe some of you do, because I can see that a few of you have already asked to join in. I'm guessing that because we haven't pre-arranged that you'll come and join me in the live, that you don't really want to. It's just that you've pressed the view, you'd like to join in. So if you're sitting watching me and you're quite happy about doing that, then carry on doing it. And hello Ozgi, nice to see you. And if you want to join in with a live, then send me a private message, send me a direct message, and let's chat about what you'd like to do, because I'm always happy to meet people and chat live about all sorts of things, really. So that's the Slow Stitch update. If you want to send me a message saying, yes, I've heard you speaking and waffling on about it and I'd quite like to join in, then I'm more than happy to chat it through with you. But I think simplicity will be the name of the game, and keeping things slow and gentle. And those of you who've been around here a little bit now for a while will know that I'm absolutely passionate about creativity, and I feel that if we practice the skills and the slowing down, we can connect to ourselves, to the planet, to our family, to sort of unplugging ourselves a little bit. I love social media and I love being able to connect digitally with so many thousands of people. It's a source of immense pleasure for me, but also I recognise that I can't live only by that, and slowing down and stitching for me, it really helps that sense of balance and that sort of just losing myself in an activity that doesn't necessarily have to end up in anything. Sometimes it does, and it's beautiful. Well, I think it's beautiful. And sometimes it's just about having a moment. And I've tried being mindful without stitching or knitting or sewing, and I'm not very good at it, but I'm learning. So anyway, that's the Slow Stitch update. In my little book here, what was I going to say? Did I say it was free? Yes, I did. Of course I did. Updates this week. Well, you may have seen my post this morning. It's my wedding anniversary today. I know. How about that? 27 years. If you want to see my lovely, gorgeous husband, he doesn't know it yet, but he's on my feed. I may have to take this video down once he sees it, so you can have a little glimpse about my lovely husband, who's the most amazing dad to my 2 children, and he's up on my Instagram feed. And I think the only other question that I have had this week from Liz, who I think, Elizabeth, your name is Liz Hoff on Instagram, who was desperate to see my cards, and I still haven't taken photos and posted them. I suppose partly because I don't know why I didn't do it, but here they are. So for those of you who I suppose this is a sort of slow stitching. I don't make a lot of these by hand, but I thought I'd show them to you now in case, and you can screenshot them. They are made with scrap pieces of fabric. Some of them like that one, very scrappy. I live in the Swiss Alps, so I'm very inspired by the mountains, and I can't bear to throw a scrap of fabric away. So I frequently pick them up off the floor or beside the machine, and these are a sort of Christmassy theme, I suppose, not necessarily Christmas, but those are my scrap fabrics. And these have been made with, I'm pretty sure I've got a post about these if you were interested. They're not the main thing I do. These are just fun, short little projects. And I like practicing the, I suppose, composition when I'm producing things like this, you know, paring it down to just what is necessary. I love working in abstract, and so I don't always necessarily need my mountains to look like actual mountains, but it's interesting to find a kind of balance in compositionally what is it that pleases me. And I love trying out new things, although I think I try out new things, but yet my work does tend to look the same. Perhaps all you artists out there could let me know how I can develop that. I probably need to get more comfortable being uncomfortable. Ooh, that's a lot to think about. Okay, on with cards. There are two that are fairly similar. These are more the mountainscapes with frayed edges and a little bit of hand sewing on the end, and these I suppose take me longer than these. I use the machine to sew directly to the card. Somebody asked me how do I do it. On most of these I have glued the fabric piece to the card, but on the very simple ones, like for example, let me find one now. Looking at it. Oh, where has it gone? There's definitely one here. Oh, there we are. So that one, it was very super simple. I just I sewed it directly with my sewing machine using a free motion embroidery foot, and I dropped the feed dogs on the machine. If that doesn't make sense to you, send me a message and I'll kind of translate it. But most machines, in fact, I think all machines, well, yeah, most sewing machines can do that. There's usually a button around the right hand side of your sewing machine, and if you press it, the little serrated teeth that pull the material through drop down so that you can manipulate the fabric underneath your machine. Again, there's a thing on my a reel on my feed if you want to watch that. And then I made some of these reverse applique, which is raw edge reverse applique, so it's deliberately rough. It's not. I didn't turn the edges under. That's a project that I'm making some large quilts and some smaller pieces called the Connections project. And these are some slow stitching. So I've just hand stitched, freestyle hand stitched, meaning I'm putting tiny pieces of fabric in an arrangement that pleases me and then stitching over the top. And I don't know, that's what gives me pleasure, folks. I can't explain it any other way. And so perhaps that's one of the things that I'll be introducing in the stitch along if you want to join in with that. Before I go, I wanted to first put my glasses on. Who knows where my glasses are? On the floor. How did that happen? Let's see. I wanted to see if anyone had asked me a question. So I'm going to just try and find questions. No questions yet. Well, I'm going to take that to mean you're all entirely satisfied. But I will finish by wishing you all a very festive, happy, peaceful holiday season. If you're celebrating Christmas, then I hope you have a happy time and you can be with the people that you want to be with. That's not always possible in modern families and nowadays. It's not always possible, but I hope you have a peaceful, exciting / restful week, whatever you need. And I will be here again this time next week with, they don't know it yet, my daughters. I'm going to make them join in, and Megan's, I think, going to talk about her carving, and my other daughter Elise, I'm hoping, is going to talk about the book that she's written with her partner Silke, and they are on Instagram as Studio Spokes, and it's a book about the climate, the climate crisis, and it's a book about it's a very creative book with illustrations, and it's a sort of word book, a vocabulary book for things that have yet to happen. So I will leave you with those ideas. Meg is going to talk about how she got into carving spoons and wood carving, and we'll be here at home on Friday the 29th. So best wishes, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'm thrilled that you're here.